Jasmine Crockett is once again being dragged into controversy. Many people say this story is less about politics and more about facts. But on her Jasmine for U.S. campaign threads account, she posted, "Has there ever been a president have this many close attempts on their life? Maybe it's lax gun laws, maybe it's lack of mental health funding, or maybe it's fake. Who knows?" The post continued.
It is so hard to sit here sometimes because I didn't come to Congress to write laws or to do things that are hurting people. I'm just asking if there's any decency or heart or courage on that side of the aisle. The fact that a woman was killed, she was shot in her head, and y'all are pretending like nothing happened. I remember when Charlie Kirk got killed. Do you?
After the shocking shooting incident during the White House Correspondents Dinner in Washington, D.C., leaders from both parties reacted with concern. Security moved quickly, the suspect was arrested, and thankfully those attending the event were reported safe.
So I had actually gone to the bathroom at this time this incident happened, and as I was washing my hands, I heard what I thought were 6 or 7 very loud gunshots. Apparently this was in the corridor where this bathroom is. And I was actually going to go outside and check, but then 2 women from the security services rushed into the bathroom and said, shots fired, shelter in place. So that is what we ended up doing. We comforted each other because obviously it was a tense time, but I was really holding on to the fact that we hadn't heard any more gunshots. And to me, that could have been a positive sign that the shooter was no longer in any position to inflict more violence. But we didn't have cell reception, so we couldn't really tell what was going on. We didn't have an updated picture of what was happening. But we stayed there until Secret Service came and let us out, and then we were able to get out, reunite with whoever we were supposed to reunite with, our teams, as well as contact others to tell them that we were okay.
Among those who responded was Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas. On her official social media accounts, Crockett clearly condemned the violence, writing that political violence is unacceptable and must stop.
Do you remember what our response was? Our response wasn't to sit there and pretend like it was okay. Is it okay because you have a badge? Because the last time I checked, allegedly no one is above the law. Can y'all not just have a little bit of courage and humanity? A child. A child has lost her mom. And y'all want to pretend that it is okay. I am asking if there is anyone that will stand for the very people that elected us and sent us to Congress. You tell us things like, well, the immigrants are bad, and so we got to get all these bills because the immigrants are the ones that are causing the harm, they're bringing the crime. The mayor of Minneapolis told y'all to get the fuck out.
She also said she was grateful that everyone attending the event was safe. That should have been the end of it. But instead, critics rushed to attack her over a separate post from a campaign-related account where she questioned why there seemed to be repeated security incidents involving Donald Trump.
While I sit in this imperfect government, and we all know that government is run by imperfect people because we are all human, there are policies that can be changed. And it would be my hope and prayer that we start to bring about policy changes that can prevent loss of life all around. But right now, as federally elected officials, the one thing that we could do to start to save at least some folk is to focus on the fact that we have what seems to be government-sanctioned violence that is leading to people dying. And we are the ones that oversee these government officials, and I would encourage the chairman to hold a hearing so that we can do that part, because we are not elected to run any city. We are elected on the federal level, and we are the ones that are supposed to have oversight over DHS and others. And
some immediately tried to twist her words into something sinister. Supporters say that interpretation misses the point entirely. Many Americans regularly ask questions when major events happen, especially when there are repeated incidents tied to political figures.
The shooting is terrible. I'm very sorry that the shooting happened. That kind of violence has no place in our society.
I think we're so desensitized from violence like this that I think a lot of people think it's a joke, that it's funny, they deserved it. You know, there's always, it wasn't real, because I know there were like a lot of live recordings of it, so people didn't think that it was actually a legit security threat, but obviously it just doesn't look good for the rest of the country that it's so easy to have violence so close to you. It's more reinforcement that it's a scary time.
Asking whether problems are caused by weak gun laws, poor mental health systems, or broader security failures is not endorsing violence.
So there was security, but again, I'm sure that there will be reporting about that. I was really surprised that I didn't have to show any identification and just a printed invitation, which, as I just said, I could have given to pretty much everyone. There is no picture on it. It's just like, a very typical piece of paper.
It is raising concerns that deserve discussion, and that appears to be exactly what Crockett was doing. Her comments pointed to issues many lawmakers have debated for years: gun access, mental health resources, and public safety preparedness. Those are legitimate policy topics.
During that event, here, of course, questions need to be asked. How can get a guy a shotgun inside the hotel in which the President of the United States is going to be and speak? The security system actually worked. It did what it was designed to do. It had several layers of security. In the final one, when it came to the actual weapons check, held out, and they were able to prevent the individual from getting into the ballroom. So there is, of course, some discussion to be had on how this could go, that he was already inside the building with a weapon.
Especially after another violent event involving firearms. Yet instead of discussing those real issues, opponents focused on creating outrage. This has become a pattern in modern politics. Certain figures can say almost anything, spread division, insult opponents, or question institutions, yet face little scrutiny.
Although at the same time, the hotel was a public venue. The gunman had apparently rented a room there, so as a guest had easy access, not just to his room, obviously, but even to the space in front of where the Correspondents' Dinner was being held. So this will certainly prompt, I think, a very thorough review of security at all presidential and indeed cabinet member events going forward.
But when outspoken Democrats like Jasmine Crockett ask difficult questions or challenge narratives, backlash arrives instantly. Many of her supporters say Crockett is being targeted because she is bold, direct, and unwilling to stay silent. They argue she represents a new generation of politicians who speak plainly, challenge power, and refuse to play by outdated political rules. That style makes her popular with many voters and frustrating to critics. At the same time, the bigger story may be getting ignored. A violent suspect reportedly brought weapons into a high-profile public event attended by elected officials, journalists, and security personnel. That alone should spark serious conversations about public safety, security planning, and how political tensions continue to rise. Instead, headlines turn towards social media drama. For many observers, Jasmine Crockett did exactly what leaders should do in moments like this: condemn violence, express relief that people were safe, and raise questions about the deeper causes behind repeated tragedies. Whether people agree with her wording or not, asking questions is not the same as promoting violence. And in a democracy, questioning systems, demanding accountability, and discussing policy failures should never be treated as a crime. So while critics focus on outrage, Crockett's supporters say she remains focused on what actually matters: protecting people, telling the truth, and refusing to be silenced.